Chapter 1. Log in. You are listening at FameTV.info. Failure is the perfect word that described Karen Worthwood. The word failure continued to echo in my mind as I looked at the paper left on top of my bed. It was an official letter sent from the last company that I was anxiously waiting for. The job that I applied for was my last hope in getting out of my miserable life. My life is officially down the gutter. I knew it after reading the letter I just got 15 minutes ago. No job, no money, no boyfriend, and I even fought with my best friend 2 days ago. I stood up from my chair and walked towards the nearest full-length mirror. As I stared at the woman in front of me, I began to observe her. She was normal at best. She had a long wavy black hair that reached her shoulder. She had black eyes that changed to brown if the sun shines. Her complexion was darker than fair. She also had a height around 5 feet 11 inches. Another but the most noticeable that I can see was that she was fat. Not really fat, but you can see some fats here and there. I pinched my cheeks that gave a bright red color after doing so. "What should I do with you?" I asked offhandedly as I looked at the eyes looking back at me. Emotion started to swell once again as I looked back at the letter. My mother was also having a hard time looking for money to buy food every day. I am really a failure. This past 2 years I was just enjoying my life secluded in my room. Staying late in front of my computer reading online books that I can find. Before I realized it, everything already got out of hand. I wanted to change, and to do that I needed to start by looking for a job, but so far everything was shot down. I am already 25 years old, but I still had no experience in working. I finished university, but after that I did not look for any job and continued to live leisurely. On the other hand, all my friends have good job and bright life that scared me to even step out of the house. Embarrassed to be asked of how I am and what my job is nowadays. I didn't want to lie, just like how I did a month ago when I accidentally run across my batch mate in high school while job hunting. I have so many regrets that if some asked me to make a wish, I will automatically ask to go back to when I was 10 years old. I am not sure when my regrets started to pile, but maybe at age 10 I still did not have that many regret enough to wish going back in time. With one last look at the mirror, I walked towards my old computer. As I turned it on, I heard the soft humming sound of the computer. Well, can't be helped. The computer was made years ago. I think it was around the year 2020, and it is already the year 2028, so basically my computer is really old, but the important thing is that I can go online. Thought with technology becoming more and more advanced, this kind of computer is already a long-forgotten relic. Speaking of technology, one heard that the first virtual reality game will officially be online a month from now. World have been developing the game for 8 years. They first announced what they were developing and said that it will be available in 10 years' time. We have advanced technology, however virtual reality game is still far from us. Researchers said this after it was announced 8 years ago. Seems like World made sure to show them how wrong they are, as they had announced 8 years ago. World will now be launching the first ever VR game. Actually, it is even 2 years earlier than what they said before. Within the 8 years the game was made, 1 year was used by the company to have a beta test. There were around 1 million players throughout the world that were selected to become beta testers. Thought, I think paying in a virtual world is cool. I really am not into games. Trying to pull my wayward thoughts back on track, I opened a browser and started to look for a job. As I waited for the job site to load, I opened my mail and saw a mail that made me frown. Greetings, Joe. I have sent this to you because I am currently in need of your assistance. I know that we have not been in contact since university, but I have a job that I think you can definitely do. This job can give you around $100,000 to $500,000 monthly. So if you are interested, reply ASAP. Black. The email made my frown deeper and deeper as I reread the email again and again. Was this a joke or maybe some scam email? The email address was unfamiliar. Black. It's been a long time. I am amazed that you know my email address. Thought I am curious about the job. I want to know the specifics. I also want you to know that if I say yes to the job, I want our relation be purely through male contacts only. Joe, I really don't know why I answered the email, but somehow it won't hurt me if I did. Another reason is that I was really in need of a job, and if this job really pays that kind of amount, it will be really awesome. Just to make sure if it really is a real job, I do not want the person named Black to know that he sent the letter and job request to a different person, hence the request of the method of contact. If Black sent me the job description and it is a job that I can't do, illegal, or there is possible contact with me which might lead them to learn that I am not really Joe, I will turn the job down with any excuse I can think of. For now I will try to see if I can snatch the job away from Joe. Joe, thanks for answering my request. I can give you specifics and answer some of your questions if it is alright with you to go online. I want to chat with you through Skylink. We don't need to use video if you like. Contact me. My account name in Skylink is Yoa Like Me. I'll be waiting. P.S. Let's meet at World 3, Continent 1. Black. Okay, seems like Black believes that he is talking to Joe, or maybe he doesn't care whoever got the job. Since I already started, I might as well see it through the end. After making a new account in Skylink, I logged in, selected World 3, then connected to Continent 1 and looked for the account name that Black provided. I finally saw the name and sent Black a PM. Lith. Hello Black. This is Joe. Really, a cornered person can do anything. I thought as waited for the replay. It was only a minuet after a replay was sent. Yoa Like Me. Hello Joe. Glad that you gave me some of your time. Especially you are the kind of person who doesn't usually make time for an old acquaintance. Lith. No problem. So let's cut the chase. What is the job about? I made a mental note about his description about Joe just in case. At least Black was someone whom Joe had no contact for a long time. It will make my problems lessen. Yoa Like Me. Joe, I know how good you are in playing RPG and other online games. And I know you are already a professional gamer. So it is you I came to give this job. Professional gamer, ow. I made a big sigh after reading the PM. Lith and Yoa Like Me. I know that you heard that World will be releasing the new VR game that they have developed. Lith. Yes, I heard about it. It will be released on October 1st, right? Yoa Like Me. Exactly. So the job I want you to do is to collect information about the game. All you can find, any observation that you can get. You have been playing games all your life, so I believe it will definitely help you with this job. Sorry, I've never been a gamer. But I really like reading, so I know a lot, but I am not sure it will be helpful with the job. Lith. So you want me to be a spy for a different company? Yoa Like Me. No, of course not. I know you might not believe me, but I am working for World. Since I will be your direct link to the company, it also means that basically you are working for the company. Lith. Really? Isn't it that World had a year of beta test which consist of 1 million players? I believe World got enough information from that. Yoa Like Me. I know, actually I can't tell you the specifics, but what I can say is that the situation is different now. We need new information regarding the game after the official launching of the game. Lith. If I agree with this, do I have to meet anyone or bring resume and other legal documents? Because if I need to, I don't have the luxury of time to do those things. Yoa Like Me. No, it is true when I said that you are like an employee of World, but not exactly. You are working under me. You just give me a weekly report and I send you your money. Lith. Let me get this straight. You work for World, but I work for you. World knows you are going to hire someone to give you information, and this person has no direct link to the company. Yoa Like Me. Yes, exactly. No strings attached. Lith. So instead of being an employee, it is more like I am selling you information. Yoa Like Me. That's correct. The only thing you have to give us is information about the game. You don't have to give us information about your character. You can also sell information that you already sold to us provided we give you permission to let it out in public. Lith: okay. Sounds good, however I must say I don't have any capsule of the game. I am afraid that one capsule is very expensive. You'll like me. That's true, but you don't have to worry about that. We can loan you one of our capsule, and if the contract ends you can return it or you can pay installment for the capsule. We will give you a discount for it. Lith: that's good, but how will you send it? I have no intention of revealing my location and other information. You'll like me. I understand that problem, so how about we meet halfway? We will send it to a certain delivery company and from there you can ask them to drop it to a certain place and you pick it up from there. Lith: okay, sounds good. I will also email you the bank account where you will put the money. If possible I would like to get advance payment so I can use some money to pay those who will get the capsule from the agreed location. You'll like me. Okay, I will also send to you a document about the contract. Lith: sure, since everything is good I have to go. You'll like me. Thanks again. Sorry. I chanted the word in my mind while rereading the whole exchange. I really hope I know what I am doing. Observe and report. That's a piece of cake, even I can do it. Right. 40 minutes later, everything that happened started to settle down, which made my mind finally assess my biggest and most idiotic move in my whole life. I am no longer a failure but a liar, and if someone found out I will become a criminal. What a mess my life had become. 2 days later I received the contract through my email. A week after receiving my contract I checked my bank account and saw that they have given me half my salary for next month as well as a bonus. Well, the bonus was actually for the pick-up of the capsule. During the week since the chat with Black I told my mother that I finally got a job and I will be working at home. I told her that my job is that of a professional gamer, although she was puzzled because I have never played any RPG games before. The whole 2 weeks I devoted my time in researching as I looked for all the books and information I can gather about the game and virtual reality games. It was hard, but it helped to suppress my anxiousness, nervousness, and excitement regarding the arrival of the capsule. All these activities was a blur as the day came. I was honestly happy that they have not yet found out that the one they contracted with was not Joe but a certain Karen Worthwood. Well, I'll cross the bridge when I am there. 29th of September 2028. Finally the doorbell rang. The capsule has arrived at last. I opened the door and let the gentleman enter and guided them towards the attic of the house. It was dirty and unused but during the week, but I took pleasure in cleaning and arranging the attic as my new room. An hour later, I am looking at the capsule at the far side of the room. Wow, the capsule was big and can fit a man with the height of 6 feet 5 inches. Well, maybe they considered Joe's height and never thought that it was not Joe that will be using this capsule. After installing the program as per the manual directed, I continued to read the manual to know all the functions it provided. Reading the manual told me a lot of useful information. First, the capsule I received is one of the first few original designs. That is why the capsule only has the default color of steel. Personally, I like it better than the designs being shown on TV. Since it is original, it means that it is one of the older versions, but they only added some functions that are installed on the newest version. Talk about being thrifty. Well, I don't care about the difference between the old version and the new. The important aspect is the ability of the capsule to log into the game. Second, since it was an old version, it did not have any time constraints that was imposed on the new version. The government imposed time limit in VR diving. The time allotted to each capsule would be 6 hours straight. After checking the system of my capsule, there is no time countdown. That made me really happy. Third, another thing I noticed was it has a sleep mode. Well, this capsule might just be my new bed. Anyway, sleep mode was removed from the new version. However, clients can request to have a sleep mode be installed, but they have to undergo process the government made for this kind of requests. And since it is an installment that is not included in the package they bought, they have to pay a separate fee for it. I am indeed very lucky, no need to ask for the installation of sleep mode. Sleep mode is very helpful for players since its function relaxes the body like it is sleeping normally while the players are online. So basically when you wake up from the game it was like you were only dreaming vividly. Though there are still many explanations about this function, I only need to know the gist, which is I can sleep and play at the same time. He. Cool. Fourth, like all other capsule it has an alarm which is possible for the owner to set. This will wake the player from the game. This function will really be handy when I have to follow a schedule. In my contract with Black he did not really specify how many hours I have to play as long as I send him my weekly report. Fifth, I learned the name of the game. The title is Parallel. I was expecting that the capsule and the game were one and the same, but it is not. It seems like the capsule was named Parax and it is like a key to enter the world of Parallel. Parallel is the first VR game that is made to use Parax. Well, I don't want to dwell too much about this part because it has too much information. Sixth, another important detail is the time difference between the real world and Parallel. 1 day in the real world is equivalent to 3 days inside the game. So basically 1 hour real time was equivalent to 3 hours in game. So far, that is all the important information I registered in my mind. After another hour of reviewing the manual and other information about the Parax and Parallel, I started to organize my room. Thereafter I made a schedule that I will be following starting October 1st. October 1st, 6 a.m. Wake up. I promise to wake up, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Exercise, UF. They said a good physical body affects the game T.T, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Bath and breakfast, most important meal. Need energy. 8 a.m., launching of Parallel, going online. Unlimited time, well actually until lunch, 12 to 1 p.m. Lunch, need to eat, 1 p.m., online, unlimited time. No dinner. I'm on diet, 10 p.m., automatic switch to sleep mode. Not bad, I said as I look at the schedule I made for the first day. It is simple but suits me just fine. Okay. Now that I finished my schedule I have to start writing in my diary. I had been thinking of the best way to make report, but I am unable to think because I have never really played any RPG before, so I read many reviews made by games. The information they have provided is written differently, each person has their own way of reviewing, so I thought that I have to experience the game first before thinking of anything else. You may never know, but after playing I might create my own style. For now I decided to make a diary. I will put all my experiences from the game, it might be a good resource later on in making my report. Maybe. I'm not sure. Well, I started my diary from the day I had my conversation with Black. 1st of October, 2028 morning. It is already morning. I closed my eyes again as I tried to block the sound of my alarm clock. Hug. How I wish to throw the annoying clock. I grudgingly sat from my bed. Looked at the clock that reads 6:01 and besides it is the schedule I made for today, October 1st. I stayed up late last night because I was unable to sleep courtesy to my excitement for today. Well, it can't be helped. Today is the launching of Parallel. With another yawn I started my day as my schedule demanded. Well, everything went better than I expected, especially the exercise part. Anyway, after I ate breakfast I specifically asked my mom not to bother me in the room because I have to work. 15 minutes before launching, I already entered the Parax and started Engage System. Engage System has 2 levels. Level 1 is the bio.scan mode. The system makes sure to get all biological information from the person inside the capsule and saves it in the built-in local memory of the Parax. It serves as an identity security as well to make sure no one else can use the capsule. Level 1 of the system is only done once after using the capsule. Level 2 is where you connect to the game. I have read about Engage system when I was reading the manual, but it really didn't really prepare me for the feeling I felt. After the bio.scan I entered Engage sequence, I started to feel sleepy and suddenly I felt like I fell down from a high place. The same feeling you get when you are sleeping, then a sudden downward motion afterwards is a sudden jolt to consciousness. When I came to, I am sitting in the middle of dark place. The only light that illuminated the endless darkness was the magic circle on the floor. The circle was wide. It can hold around 5 people without it being overcrowded. Thought it was big, I am alone so it has space enough to move around freely. I stood up and walked to the far side, leave the circle, but I am blocked, it is like an invisible wall surrounding the circle. My thoughts were interrupted by a sound of a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As the countdown finished, the whole place was engulfed by light and a message window appeared in front of me. As I touched, another window appeared. Yes, okay, so when I had the biological scan when I first entered Engage sequence means they have my information already. It is then impossible to create a new one. Okay, got it. Name, huh? What name should I give you? Zieft race. I have read some description about each race from the official website of World Human, the most flexible race from all the 4 race. They can learn many skills and they can also learn some skills only other races have. Elf. Among the 4 races they have the highest affinity with elemental magic. There are multiple clans to select and Elf is selected. Each clan has their own specialty. Dragoon. They are a race that has dragon blood running in their vein. They have strong defense and attack just like true dragons. There are multiple dragon types under this race. Ancient has the lowest magical affinity, but they have the use artifacts and alchemy as substitute for being unable to use magic. They cannot utilize mana, but they have found a way to use neutral energy to use in artifacts. According to the one I read online, the easiest and to choose is human, but there are a lot of opinions being thrown on the forums that I have checked. Well, all characters have strength and weakness, so any of them are good. Ugh, hi. Random cough. I am sure, any race among the 4 is alright. I don't want to dwell in weighing the pros and cons of each race. I don't want to waste time customizing my avatar. No yes no yes. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.